Okay, good. Hey, Trekkies, what's good? What's good? What's going on? All right, so my lives are pretty much always impromptu. I just, feel like doing a live, so I'm doing a live. Hey, Trekkies, what is going on? Now, I just want to talk about the most recent trending topics. And the biggest one so far is Alana Reid. So let me know who is in the live with me. Sound off in the chat. Let me know who is here. Hey Ryan, what is going on? Hey Anita, thank you so very much for showing up. Good day. All right, Trackies. Alana Reid goes pro. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. It's so funny. When I saw the news yesterday, I said to myself, isn't it so interesting that I mentioned it, a few days ago on my live stream, and here we have her going pro. So for all of those, hey guys, for all of those who don't remember me saying this, I'm gonna play a snippet of what I said on the live stream, and I think this was last week, Saturday, I think. So not no, the week before, because last week is the Saturday just gone. So the week before, I'm gonna play the snippet of what I said, and then we're gonna continue this conversation. Yeah. So let me share this screen. I'm hoping that I haven't forgotten um what I'm supposed to do with this share. Okay, so I'm sharing a window. And I'm going with, why am I not even seeing the window? That's not the window that I want. Entire screen. I think I'm doing window. Chuckies, give me a second here. Let me make sure that this window is actually showing up. Because, yeah. All right, so let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Present. All right, let me go with share my screen. Share window. It's not coming up. Why? Oh, no, here it is. All right, good. Share. Great. All right, Chuck are you able to see my screen? So I'm just going to play this as a segment. I don't want people to think I'm organized. You see, a lot of times when I say things, way before most, content creators on here, say anything, I don't hear anybody coming and saying anything, giving me my props, saying, hey, T, you call it, whatever, or maybe just a few say anything. So I just want to make sure that you knew how I felt about the situation, prior to this announcement. So the announcement is, Alana Reid has gone pro. She has signed with Actors Management. Is I pronounce? Let me just pull it back up so to know that I ain't pronouncing madness. So yeah, Actors Global Sports has signed her. So they have stars like Sydney McLaughlin Leveron. But what is interesting about this group that is signed to, it's that it's led by a former athlete, um, former Jamaican standout high school athlete. I don't know if you guys would remember Sekou Clark, but it's founded by him. He's one of the founders. So, she's in great company there. And her coach, Corey Bennett, is set to continue coaching her. Well, I will get into the Corey Bennett tidbit before, after I play my snippet. Well, let me play my snippet. Let me click play on my snippet, and then let's see let's see what happens after. Wait, Chuck I don't like my audio. 1 second. Okay. that's gonna work. I didn't like how the audio was coming through. You know, when you look at how things been running in the same little gap or same little range. So and important parts. In the race. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing right there. So track is, you heard it. I hope everybody heard it. You heard it. Oh my God, not hearing. Oh, I'm always having audio issues. Oh my God. I apologize. I really do apologize. Anyway, track is, long story short, in that video, I was saying when did I post it? I think this was my first live back. So it would be week before last Saturday. I said, based on what I'm seeing transpiring with Alana Reid, I do not get the vibe that she, wants to go the quote unquote traditional route. The vibe I'm getting is I want to go pro, and it would make sense. The times that she's running, you can't hear me now? Jesus, please tell me still not hear me. Right, the times that she's running, I think y'all can hear me now. So the times that she's running tells me that, let me plug in back this stupid mic. All right, so the times that she's running tells me that she definitely has a say, in this whole professional route thing. I mean, we've seen persons with slower times get a deal, so why can't she? So I'm not surprised at all getting this confirmation that she's going pro, and she's signed with Actors Management, Global Sports Management team. So that's really good for her. It shows her intention as well. It's giving me a certain vibe, and I like the kind of vibe. I like the vibe, the type of person that's thinking beyond the sport, or just making her brand bigger than quote unquote just the sport. I like that vibe. I like the vibe that I'm getting from Alana. No, as I said to you before, she is sticking with her coach, Corey Bennett. All right. Now I'm gonna say something, and a lot of you are not going to like it, because when I said it last year and I never like it, too bad. I'm still gonna say what I have to say. Chuckies, you remember when we did the video? I think I talked about it before, and then I came on with my sister later on and talked about, how Kerika Hill was quote unquote shamed for choosing to go pro. And then the vibe that I get is that all of these media personalities were just on this attack, talking about how, oh, she's doing it to benefit her family and all these things. And I vividly remember an interview on Sportsmax, or the Sportsmax talking about it. And I remember one of them saying, and it just hurt me to the core, saying that it's not good to go pro for these reasons, to assist your family or whatnot. And then he kind of backtracked and said, well, if you're getting a deal like Serena Williams, sure. And I'm like, that is hypocritical. So why is it okay for Serena Williams at some little young 9-year-old age to go pro, but it's not okay for Kerika Hill to go pro? And I felt like they were attacking her decision with an underlying motive. That was my thought process. I felt like there was an underlying motive in the whole thing. And I'm like, Corey Bennett had come out and said that he would have loved to have some more time working with Alana Reid. Not Alana Reid, sorry, Kerika Hill. And I said to myself, you know, You never see smoke without fire. The mere fact that the media was behaving like this, and then he's saying that, oh, he would have loved to have some more time with her. Clearly, they're defending, quote unquote, Corey Bennett in this instance, because he wanted to continue coaching her, I guess, within this whole professional road. So the issue wasn't the fact that Kerika went pro. So they were being hypocrites there in my mind. The issue wasn't that she went pro. The issue was that she left Corey Bennett. That was the issue. So fast forward here to Alana Reid. Now that I'm seeing Alana Reid stay with him, I said, aha, that was your intention this whole time. I got you. I caught you red-handed. But again, Corey Bennett was able to get her to run 10:92. I have no issues with her staying with Corey Bennett. Actually, some of you probably think, I'm hating on these coaches or whatever. No, I just think that if an athlete makes a decision, along with their guardians or their advisors, to move on, then just allow them to move on. That's my thought process. However, in this instance, Alana Reid has chosen to stay with Corey Bennett, and I have no issues with that. I'm dying to see, what this professional relationship will become at the end of the day, right? But I'm just circling things back to say that Shakis, you see what they were doing to Kerika? It had an underlying thing behind it. This is what these people will do when you don't choose to roll with them sometimes. That's just my thought process. But anyway, yeah, Kerika Hill going pro. Absolutely fantastic. In my mind, yesterday when I saw the news, I was actually thinking, well, since we have Tia and Serena over there at MVP, I don't think she'll be going to MVP. I was thinking that she'd probably go the same route as Kerika Hill and head down to Shelly's club. But that's not what she chose. She chose to stay with her coach. So her decision. I'm just hoping that the successes continue because our eyes are on her now, and certain expectations are now going to be leveled on her because she's run 10:92. It's hard to escape people expecting great things from her in the future. But I will just say this: time is required. I was listening to an interview with Cherokee, and she was asked, "What's the big difference between you going pro now and being a collegiate athlete?" And she said, "The mindset." She said, back when she was in college, she knew she was doing it for the team, so she had that kind of motivation to go. Oh, I'm pumped up because the team needs me, so I need to go out there and get the points required. However, now that she's pro, she has to motivate herself. She has to tell herself every day, listen, you need this, you want this. There's nobody, there to quote unquote push her, other than people in her personal circle to push her to say, hey girl, you'll want this, continue doing your training and so that you can be successful at this, right? So that's a different mindset. So considering that she's now gone pro, obviously there's no Heidel school situation where she needs to do it for her team. She needs to do it for herself. So with all that in mind, track is just give the athlete some time to acclimatize to this whole new setup. And of course, along with it comes a new training regimen as a pro athlete, right? Everything is, I guess, increased. I'm sure it's going to happen incrementally, but still it's going to be an increased workload from a training perspective. So we have to give our athletes some time. And again, they're young, so the coaches will take their time in terms of when they're adding whatever they're adding to their program. So we may not see any results immediately. We may. If we do, wow, amazing. But if we don't rush it. Just allow her to come into her own and just wait for great things to happen from Alana Reid. I'm really, really excited. As I said, I saw it happening before. Based on everything that was transpiring, there's no way she was just gonna go to college to do what? You're already a 10:92 athlete. What was Brianna Williams running when she went pro? I don't even think she had dipped below 11 seconds when Brianna had gone pro. I don't remember, but I don't think she had dipped below 11 seconds. So with all of these prior athletes, that you can look to, why would Kerika be sitting down going to Oregon? To do what? Nothing. And the same goes for all of our top athletes. If you're in a position where you can get a lucrative deal, take it. Take it. You don't know how long this trap game is going to last. Take the money, invest it, go back to school, whatever you need to do, take it. That's just my opinion. Let me see here. Let me check some of these comments. All right, Chuckies, I get that you weren't able to hear the video. I apologize. I thought it would be good to play, but either whichever mic I'm using is not working. So whether or not I'm using my computer mic or my external mic, none of them seem to be working well with this format. I'm just gonna have to figure out how to get this thing, on a professional level, right? But I think I'm gonna need a splitter. I think I'm gonna need a splitter, and that's what I'm missing because I'm using a USB mic, and I think that's the issue. So I'm just gonna have to up my mic game eventually to make things, my setup be better than what happened before. Yes, Kasif, I called it. Thank you so much. I saw this coming, right? Um, are you saying Sekou was from went to JC? Um, do you think it is a good move? I think signing is good, but returning the same coach is a mistake. Okay, I do not fault you for having that opinion. Why? Because again, it's what I pointed out last year with this whole test subject thing or guinea pig thing, with some of these high school coaches starting clubs where they're gonna need some athletes to try out this thing on. And unfortunately, the athletes that come in the earlier stages may be the ones that suffer, and then the ones later on, may after they've now solidified whatever training regimen they've come up with are the ones that are going to benefit, right? But at the same time, I think it's okay to allow, the coach. He got her to 1092. Let him do his thing. Maybe he can get her to go faster, and it won't be a failure. I don't believe in failing people before they even try. So let him try. Let me see what he can do. Let me see what he can do. I mean, I'm all guns in when it comes to our young athletes, of course, and being successful, and I only want the best for them. So I'm praying that it's successful. I don't want nothing bad to go. I don't want nothing to go wrong. Um yeah, I realized that the audio wasn't working. I'm sorry about that. I thought it would work. I'm just gonna have to figure some stuff out. It's Bennett that got her to this stage. So why is it that people think he can't get her further? I bet you the people that have issue with him are the Stephen Francis fans. Francis is the only coach. I don't think it's unnecessary. It's a thing about having a problem with him because it's quote unquote, Stephen Francis fans. People just like people that are tried and true and tested. Nobody wants to buy pussy, quote unquote, pussy in a bag, right? So when they're saying, okay, it's good being a high school coach, right, but this is the professional leagues, do you have what it takes to be able to take her to the next level? This is taking her to the best Jamaica has to offer as a high school athlete, as a junior. Does he have what it takes to take her to the next level as a senior? I think it's fine to have these kind of questions. I don't think there's nothing wrong with questioning that. Because again, everybody's coming. In my opinion, I'm hoping that our Chakis here are coming from a good place when they have these questions. I don't think anybody's been malicious, in asking these questions. Is he the right fit? That's a good question, right? But again, as I said, give him his chance. Let us see what happens. Stephen Francis himself asked for 2 to 3 years with Serena Cole and not Serena Cole, with Tia and Tina. Give him the same time maybe he would need longer, considering that I don't know if he trains any other professional athlete, but to me, I don't know, I've never heard of him training any. So maybe he's gonna need even more time, or we could be lucky and things just melt together like this, and everything just runs flawlessly, and we see her next year and the year after that doing fantastic. So again, we have to give him his time. That's my thing. Going pro in tennis is significantly more lucrative. Yes, yes, I understand. But the motive behind going pro was his issue, right? His motive was, do not go pro with the thought process of helping your family or whoever up out of poverty. That was his point. And I'm saying, if you're getting a contract to go pro, regardless of whichever sport it is in, I don't think it's fair to say, oh, just because you're able to make more in this sport, in this sport than the other one, yes, go pro with the thought process of helping your family. But in this sport, no, you can't go pro with the thought process of helping your family. It's hypocritical to me. If you can go pro as a tennis player, yes, it's more lucrative. Why can't you go pro as a track and field athlete with the same mindset? The mindset being, I'm helping out my family. Nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, that is a great motivation and driving force to be successful in life. Me tired of seeing my family and suffer. Me want to help them. Look how much people have said that. What was that thing that I used to watch on TVJ? I don't watch it anymore. Um, Profile. Have you all ever watched Profile and listened to some of these stories and the driving force behind some of these success stories? It was all where they were coming from. So there's nothing wrong with having that mindset. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But again, everybody was harping on, oh well, she's not making up, so she shouldn't do that. I mean, come on. I pray he does a great job. Me too. I'm praying for it. Have Alana Reid retainer? Yes, he has. Yes, she has. So she'll be working with Corey Bennett. Me not the man. So if she start and it don't work, then she just move on. Simple. I can't. Why people think they must go to school and don't go pro? The same money can further. That's my point. The same money can further their education. And I'm hearing now that some deals, I don't know how true it is because I've never seen what a professional contract looks like, but I'm hearing that some deals actually include education. So track is, it's not the end of the world, just going pro like that. As long as what is important in going pro is the persons in your circle. Some people like how you see about they have NJ and them type of people that will push you and push your brand and just launch you. You need those type of people in your circle, right? Even your family, your family needs to have that kind of mindset, support you as much as they can. I remember listening to Sherika Jackson when she did her interview, I think on Yendi, and she was talking about the type of support her mother gave her. Her mother couldn't do, be quote unquote at every meet, or just as small things when it comes to training. She can't assist in any of those things, but she makes sure she cook. She cook Sherika food, Sherika, and Sherika was her laundry and everything was always taken care of. Like whatever she could do, she did. So you need those type of people. And here now, look at the success. Let's see what's happening here. Don't think it is what? Don't think it is should be a trial period on Miss Reid. She is too good to be playing with. Again, and I will say, coach, in my opinion, is new to this professional structure. In my opinion, Alana Reid is going to be a guinea pig. Do we have success stories in the initial stages? Yes, I'm sure there are persons that have started stuff and it was for the first time and it was a success for them immediately. I'm praying to God that that's the case, and Alana doesn't fall by the wayside. But as somebody else said, if it doesn't work out, she can always move on. I think Mr. Bennett will do with her. Yeah, I'm hoping that everything works out. Watched it twice since Ian died. I don't know if they're not getting the type of caliber persons that they used to get before, but when Ian was on, like some of these stories, like they were really gut wrenching, and then to see the type of success that came out of it's amazing. So I don't know why people are against this whole notion of, even Usain Bolt himself, looking at his own family, that was part of his driving force. People need to come off it. Coco Golf makes more money in a year than Kerika or Alana will in their entire careers. Again, different sport. I'm not sure who this Coco person is, but I'm assuming it's in a different sport. Yeah, different sports. Someone linked it. I think it was Q Synergy, and I'm so thankful that he did it. Q Synergy linked a piece that TVJ did where they were talking with what's her name, Carol Beckford, and she was talking about making track and field, more lucrative. They're looking into it, but again, there's a lot, I guess, a lot of restructuring that needs to be done in order to get track and field to that level, right? So talks are on the table. We hear them talking about how Usain Bolt wants to be, quote unquote, lead world athletics. Let's see. Let us see, right? But again, this is for every track athlete. This is for every track athlete. Sure, some earn more than others, but typically, when you look at track and field versus other sports, track and field is literally the bottom of the barrel, in the pile. So I guess some restructuring needs to happen. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm always for making money. I'm always for making money. I've always been talking about it, that our athletes need to be earning more. So I'm all for it. Whatever restructuring needs to take place, World Athletics needs to look at it and get it done, because it's really a disservice to these athletes, from top to bottom, whether you're just starting out or you're a senior athlete, like a Shelly-Ann Fraser Price that has done so many years in the sport. There's no way you shouldn't be a gazillionaire at this point. There's no way, because when you look at the amount of years that she's spent in the sport, being successful, I'm sure it comes nowhere close to the amount of money where Serena Williams has made. You know what I mean? Though Serena was in the sport for much longer, based on when she went pro, the early age that she went pro at, but still, something needs to happen. Bennett is currently one of the best coaches in Jamaica. I think his tutoring skills are too good for high school. I agree that he's one of the best coaches right now in Jamaica. When I see what has happened with the likes of, um, even just looking at a he was there with, yeah, man, Cherokee Young and all of those athletes before. We had the sprint focus, Kerikas, the Briannas, the Alanas. When you look at what he has done with Heidel, clearly. Clearly, proof is in the pudding. The only question, I guess, for most persons, strap boss, is, can he do it on the professional level? The pro field in track and field is saturated, though. Is it? Is it? Where is the saturation coming from? Because people that probably can field three athletes in every event and probably have people left over only one country. There's only one country, and that's the United States. Everybody else, they can probably field in a few sports, have a one here and there, or just one. So I don't understand. And I'm talking when it comes to obviously representing on the highest level, world championships, Olympics. You know what I mean? So where is this oversaturation coming from? I don't know. You tell me. 100% agree with her going pro. Absolutely. Better they had gone NCAA star up the thing like Julian Alfred. No, 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 no. Different. Wait, what are we talking about here? Dr. JD Smith, can you please explain the thought process further before I answer? Then go pro. I think different fat fry different people. Some people, I think, will do well going into that system. Like as you said, a Julian Alfred. And in this case, I'm gonna say Brianna Liston as well. And why? I think her mentality, I think she has to toughen up a bit. And I think the NCAAs will do that for her. Get her a little bit more fire in her belly and get that kind of grit and grime that I think you need to be successful in the sport of track and field. Right now, she just seems like a little soft flower, and I need her to break out of that. I need her to, be molded into a fierce athlete. One that when she steps on the line, she's looking to call you down and take you out. She doesn't give me that vibe. So I'm thinking athletes like her will do well, in the NCAAs, to get tougher. But at the same time, I don't think everybody should go. I don't think it would suit Atina. Don't think it would suit in this case, what's her name? Alana Reid. And also I think it has suited Jadon Hibbert very well. However, I think it's time for Jadon. and I've already said it, and I'll say it again. It's time for Jadon to know, move on. Move on from college doesn't mean he's not going to be trained by the same coach. I love what he has going on with that current coach. Stay with him. He's still be in school, but he'll be a pro athlete. That's my opinion. Pro field being saturated should be seen as a motivation for an athlete to work harder. Right now, Brianna and Kemba are working extra hard to remain relevant. Yeah, but again, this is a few events. How many events are we talking about that are saturated from a country's perspective? Um, I don't know. We can look at Jamaica and say, okay, we have so many athletes in the female 100 meters, but how many do we have in the men 100 meters? So I don't know. I don't know about this whole saturation that you guys are talking about. I guess the chemistry would be good for further growth and development. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Angel is from LSU but gets paid for playing basketball. I wish they would do that for track and field. They not is that something they started recently in the NCAA's? What was it 2 years ago now they started it because they brought them to court. So the matter feel like they always wanted to pay these athletes. That's something new. Listen, not lie. May I pray for Bree because Alana and Tina and Kerika and the others are going to fight for that third or fourth spot. I can't say fourth spot alone because I don't know where Elaine is at. Agreed. Agreed. I'm worried about her as well. And from reports prior to Kerika pulling up in that race, and I'm praying that she's good. I'm hearing that she's looking forward to entering both the 100 and the 200 at trials. So the field just got stiffer. Track and field doesn't have a level playing field. Mouth Queen has never won a medal, and right now she's making more money than some of our athletes. Whose fault is that, be blessed? Whose fault is it that our Jamaican athletes are not making money? Is it quote unquote Mouth Queen's fault? It's not her fault. It's not her fault. What are Jamaican athletes doing to level to meet these people that are negotiating and tell them I can promote your whatever product you have. What? Nobody doesn't know these people outside. Okay, outside of watching them running up and down on the track, the average people don't know none of these people. I want better say the average person knows Shakiri. That's what these people are looking at when they're giving people brand deals. What is it that our Jamaican athletes can do to promote themselves further, to make themselves seem more approachable, I suppose, in this case? What are they doing? I mean, okay, when we started doing this whole vlogging thing, a lot of people were saying, oh, leave track and field alone, blah, 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 blah. And I pointed it out and I said, look at how much track and field has grown. Look, in these short few years where more people are talking about track and field and highlighting these athletes. They're able to get more brand deals, but the athletes themselves have to put themselves out there. If the athlete them are hiding a one little shell, nobody not gonna give them like what's gonna happen? How can you promote a product when nobody knows you? The athletes have to get out there and make themselves be known. Shakira used her mouth to make herself be known. Our athletes have to figure out how to do it. Do the same thing then. Go up on social media and be loud and make some money. Do something. But you can't fault somebody for being successful when we are truly not doing enough. We're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. Our mentality, the type of people that we are, we're not doing enough. And then, of course, Shakira has the big powerhouse America behind her. She has 350 million people to push her, even more than what Jamaica has. Come on. The top NCAA track schools are also highly academic. Go pro if you are not prepared academically. Tina, Brianna, Kemba, Tia, Serena, and every other junior is saturated on the pro level. Okay. I don't know if I agree with the saturation. Again, the saturation point, because in my opinion, I'm looking at it from a quality perspective. Yes, we have a lot of quote unquote female sprinters right now, but when you look at the standard to quote unquote make it, to the Diamond League, let's not even think about anything else. Just running on the Diamond League circuit and everything. A lot of these people are not at that level. So yes, we may have a lot of athletes, but are they at the level where they can compete competitively week after week on the Diamond League circuits, or some of these golden leagues? They need to vocal. Yeah, they need to. They need to. And then if you stop blaming Shakira is successful because Shakira is doing what she needs to do to be successful. Jamaicans need to take a page out of Shakira's book. And I said it on a stream. When Shakira ran the 10-5-7, all of the American media reported it as, while us Jamaican content creators reported it as an illegal 10-5-5-7. Do you know what the American media reported it as? The third fastest time ever, all conditions. And I said, the average person doesn't know what all conditions means. So when I see third fastest time ever, that's all I'm running with. That's all I'm running with. Why can't we do that with our media? When we're talking about our athletes, hype things up so that the average person can look at it and go, wow. No, we don't play everything. Everything is not good enough. We complain about everything. An athlete isn't able to run a particular time because maybe they're injured or whatever, we start grumble. You're not good enough again. No, we don't support our athletes. We don't hype things up. Our media doesn't hype things up as a matter of fact, when Elaine ran that 10-5-4, I can count on my hand the amount of outlets, and I'm thinking that vividly in my memory, I can only think of one person saying it, that this can be seen as the world record. You know what Jamaica should do? Everybody should on a post new world record. Who cares? Who cares if it's the world record or not? Just the mere fact that we're hyping it up to this level and to this degree. Do you know how much Elaine could have possibly made out of that, or how many more sponsorship deals she could have gotten out of that? But no, we sit down there. Well, and we're pandering and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're not doing enough. We are not doing enough. And then we want to blame America. We need to be doing what America is doing. Hype up everything. Hype up the athlete them. Hype them up. Honestly, I'm surprised that Alana went pro. Expect Shanti to do the same after this outstanding performance. 1089? 1089? I think we're confusing saturation with a competitive environment. Numbers forces improved performances. So I think you're agreeing with me when you say we're confusing saturation with a competitive environment. I think that's what's happening here. I'm trying to, I don't know. Maybe you need to break it down for me some more for me to get what is happening here. But I don't think I agree with the whole saturation thing. Um and guess what? Based on the talks that are happening now with Carl Beckford, where they're trying to create a pro league, we're gonna need these athletes. When these pro leagues are created, where the athlete them are gonna come from? We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them. So I don't know. I don't see the oversaturation that people are talking about. So maybe I just don't understand what this saturation thing means. Athletes don't have to promote themselves for sponsorship. Their performance on the day should count. Okay, fine, agreed. However, if you don't have a personality behind it, you stand to make less. You stand to make less. That's just my opinion. Never said it's her fault. Athletes should be paid based on their talent. Like any other sport. What has she done? Okay, fine, agreed, be blessed. But let in my opinion, if what Shakira know, she's making more than everybody else. In my opinion, then that Shakira should be the base. Meaning that these people need to start renegotiating now, looking and saying, okay, if Shakira is making this off just being a media personality, I'm a media personality, plus I have all my accolades behind it. Up my money to whatever fold she's making. You understand? So she should be the base. We shouldn't be looking and saying, let's drop her amount. Her amount shouldn't be dropped. We should be thinking about upping everybody else's amount that is performing. That's just my opinion. Same like how a lot of talented US 100 hurdles fail to be medalists. Same gonna happen for the Jamaica 100. The thing saturated. Okay. Again, do we think running 10-7 is for everybody just gonna get up and run 10-7? Or are we looking to water down the thing where we want to send people where run 11 seconds, go a world championship, go run? Because the reality is that while we're looking and saying we have so many athletes, how many of them since the new age? And we're looking at, I'm not talking about when Merlin at them are running and you could be running 11 seconds to win a medal and so forth. Look at the times that are being run. No. And let's date back. Let's go back. I'm sticking to 08. Maybe 07. What was that winning time in the World Championships? I don't remember. But anyway, when you look at these times, the times that are being run, you have to be at a certain level to even make it to the World Championship. So what are we saying exactly? We're gonna take a Patina that's running 11 seconds now at 10:95. No one send her go a World Championship just because we want to send her. I don't understand what is happening here. Please remember, the athletes that are ahead of them will be phased out eventually, and these younger athletes that are coming in are going to replace them. Either they get phased out because they're too old and their body can't perform up to standard, or they're just like, okay, I've done enough in the sport and I'm leaving. So 2 years now, when we no longer see Shelly. So we're seeing Shelly this year, hopefully. We're seeing Shelly next year, hopefully. When Shelly goes in the next 2 to 3 years, who's gonna take her spot? When Elaine goes in the next maybe 4 to 5 years, or Sharika the same thing, who is gonna take their spot? I don't see the oversaturation. I don't see it. The college system burn athletes out for 3 to 4 years, and they do nothing in the senior pro ranks after the NCAAs. I can name quite a lot of elite junior athletes who have not gone on to do well after the NCAAs. Rico Willow. I agree and I disagree. Again, and I'll go back to what Cherokee said in her interview. When you are now running as a professional athlete, the mindset is different. When you're in college, you know that you have to keep your performances up to retain your the thing they gave you. So you have to be running at a particular level to keep your scholarship, right? That's the word I was looking for, scholarship. So you have to be running at a particular level to keep your scholarship. And two, you have all this motivation from being in camp every day with these people, running along them, being competitive with each other, be like, okay, I want to outdo you tomorrow. I'm going to go into training and I'm pumping, I'm doing it for my team, blah, blah, blah. When you're all by yourself, all of these bills and everything is now onto you. You're into let's say if you're a Jamaican and you move to the US, right? Sometimes real life smacks you in the face in the sense that what it takes, the work that I have to put in to be successful as a senior, plus feed myself at the same time. Do I have what it takes to do everything? You hear a lot of times people say they have to have a second job in order to to do track and field. But at the same time, having that second job takes you away from the hours that you can spend in the gym or spend doing whatever. So at the same time, when they end up leaving school, if they weren't running quote unquote times to be signed as a professional athlete, they have to take themselves to the next level. So after me getting a 9 to 5, I'm gonna have to take up myself on top of that and go train to make it as a professional athlete. How many of them can withstand that? Please remember that these people are normal human beings. You at some point in time, your mind may break. So some of these athletes that we haven't seen gone on, some of them your mind just break. And then for some of them, they got injuries that they couldn't recover from, and they just moved on into something else. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't want to misquote him, I think Sekou Clark has had a similar situation. And see, Sekou, they know a big lawyer. So I mean, come on. It's not as straightforward as, oh, we left school and while we left college and we fell by the wayside. There's a reason. There's a reason behind it. Life happens. Life happens, and that's why such a small amount of people are successful in sports, because the time it takes to dedicate to making yourself the best, you have to sacrifice a lot. How many people are willing to sacrifice that much? Especially if you have two pitney, if you're quote unquote, if you're a man, and but at some point in time you may have gotten married and you have your wife and your child to take care of. Yeah, you're not gonna have all this time to dedicate to track and field. So you may fall by the wayside. It is what it is. It's life. Life happens. While I do believe that some of them got genuinely burnt out, I genuinely believe that more than half of them life just happened. Let me give you an example of another athlete that I believe life is just going to happen to him. As great as he is, was as a high school athlete, I already said from I saw him graduate with all them subjects there, I said we're going to have to let him go. He's going to be some doctor doing whatever, some great thing that has nothing to do with track and field. What's the former JC athlete name in the 800 meters? His name is slipping me right now. The moment he graduated and I saw all those subjects, I said, I thank you for your time in the sport. Have fun in whatever field you head into. I know you're going to do great things. It is what it is. And some people choose to just not continue in track. We need a sports agency for Caribbean athletes. It would be nice if Bolt uses platform to do the same. Bolt is trying to get himself into track. So let's see. Let's see if this will. Let's see if something good will happen. I'm hoping something good happens. I'm hoping that the sport, because I love track and field. I love sports in general, but I have a really soft spot for track and field, and I don't want to see it die out, because I keep hearing, track and field is dying, track and field is dying. Somebody needs to come in and inject something into track and field to make it boom. Who has the answers? Who has the suggestions? Who has whatever to put it in place? I don't know. I'm hoping somebody does it though. It's okay to be a Stephen Francis because he has the last 4 Olympic Games gold medalists and the last two 200-meter gold medals. Give him some respect. However, high school training is way different than that. Yeah, for sure. I said so many things, Anita. I don't even know what the true talk is. It is saturated when you look at other countries. Their fastest athlete is at times not as fast as our third or fastest athlete. Which is why I'm saying it's not saturated. Because if their fastest athlete is so slow, so wait, we must dumb down ourselves? All right. I disagree. Let's just say I disagree. I don't agree with the whole saturation thing. Maybe I can get somebody on the phone one day and they can explain what they mean when they say saturation and change my mind. But for now, I don't agree. The pro athletes, the pro athletics training program, they're worlds apart. I agree, but again, I'm giving him the time he needs. Maybe something miraculous will happen, maybe not, and she'll have to move on. But I do believe that we should give him the time required and just not fail him. Don't fail him from the gun. I know we have all of these previous situations in our brain when we think about, okay, how many success stories have there ever been in this type of scenario or situation? And again, I think I remember listening to an interview with Stephen Francis when he talked about how many years it took Glenn Mills to be successful, right? So when we think about things like that, we start to say, Lord God, so why is it that this coach thinks he's going to be successful, from the get-go? But at the same time, whilst there's data to show it isn't that easy game to walk into. There are success stories, and we shouldn't fail somebody just because, majority of the time it takes long. Maybe he'll be successful from the get-go. At least I'm praying, because I don't want Alana Reid to be no guinea pig. Okay, water needs to sponsor me. The amount of water. You see how the time is hot? Oh my God. I do believe that the environment is saturated with most of the outstanding Jamaican athletes turning pro. Most of them is burnt out. They need time and strength to become the best. Okay, saying that, okay, let me reword what I'm saying. Saying that Jamaican field in an event is saturated, like the 100 meters. Okay, fine. I may be able to understand that. But saying the sport in general is saturated, I don't agree. That's the problem I'm having. I think that's the issue I'm having, because I'm looking at it from a sport the entire sport perspective, instead of looking at it from an individual perspective, where I'm saying, okay, in this particular event, Jamaicans have way too many athletes, so it's saturated. I get that point, and I agree to a certain extent. However, when I look at the sport in general, do I think it's oversaturated? No. And again, if we're looking to build a sport and take it, to into like professional into a professional league situation, then it's gonna come a time where we're gonna need these athletes. So now you're looking at it and saying, well, we may have too many athletes right now trying to get into the women's 100 meters. But if this pro league is successful, there's a need for them. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to be searching around when you create a pro league and you need a certain amount of athletes. You don't have these athletes to feed into the program. So it's good that they're there. Hopefully this professional league thing that I hear them talking about can become a thing in as soon as possible, hopefully. The athletes need to hype up their self and yeah, they need to. Everybody's looking around and blaming Shakiri for herself. I'm like, come on. She's doing what she needs to do to earn money. So you mean to tell me that if I come right here, okay, let me use this beautiful example. Let's talk about track and field, right? Let's talk about the content creators here on YouTube. How do you judge who you support? How do you judge who you support and who you give your views to on YouTube? A lot of you may say, oh, you go to the person that is more knowledgeable. No, that is a lie. That is a lie, right? You follow behind the person that is hype that is probably just saying things that to quote unquote sound flashy, not necessarily quote unquote spitting any facts, right? That's just how y'all are. So why are we mad at Shakiri? Because she understands this and she's doing what she needs to do to make herself be visible and earn. Then we complain and grumble and say, oh, she's earning too much. No, it's not a case that she's earning too much. Our athletes are earning too little. So they need to figure out how to put themselves when they start to go to the negotiation table and say, okay, this is what I have to bring. I can't the dead dry so athlete and the dead dry so performances. It can't be that alone. And that is why I was talking about the whole Jadon Hibbert thing, and I'm saying I don't know who peeped it, but the Jadon that I knew last year is not the Jadon I know this year. It's not the same Jadon. Jadon is understanding that he needs to build his brand. Now, when you hear him come out and he's talking, it's a complete different person. To me, he always came off as very shy, withheld in a little box, just doing his thing, having fun, loving track and field. Now he's out there, he's effervescent, having fun. He's telling you, listen, the young people are doing it now. He's setting up himself so that when he goes to that negotiation table and say, all right, I'm ready to go pro. People say, no, say, this is a personality that will sell my products. Yeah. True. Sharika is the fastest woman. What? True. Sharika is the fastest woman alive. I want no, Dr. J. Dr. J.D. Smith. Elaine Thompson Hira is the fastest woman alive, running 10.54 seconds. Yes, Sharika is one of the fastest women alive, and we don't have them up as much. Agreed. You're so right, Tia. I hate to see what they post about our athletes. Poor Elaine gets a tongue wagging even when they are talking about different events altogether. Listen, I don't know what people, first and foremost, I don't know if people have silly expectations of athletes as well. Even when you watch the NBA, somebody can have an off game. So if you're used to LeBron scoring whatever, recently I think they got kicked out of the Lakers got kicked out of what was it, the quarterfinals? I don't even remember. But anyway, they didn't make it any further. Right? I don't see anybody tearing down LeBron. Yes, he's a fantastic athlete, but people also understand that, listen, this is a sport. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes the performances are amazing and it makes you be the winner. Sometimes they're amazing and it doesn't make you the winner. Sometimes they're poor and you win. Sometimes they're poor and you lose. It's just sport. It's just sport and you just move on. But the type of tear down mentality that I see some of these Jamaicans and you can't please them. You cannot please them. None at all. I'm agreeing with you. It's not saturated. It's just a competitive situation, which is good for pushing athletes to be better. Yeah, I don't think it's saturated. I honestly don't think so. And again, when I look at the sport on a whole, there's only two events that I think right now that you may classify as saturated, right? And I say may. One is the women's 100 meter in Jamaica, and two, the women's 100 meter hurdles in America. Those are the only two events that I think just have a plethora of athletes that are world class. Those are the only two events. So what? When was Are you kidding? The same Salwa that I saw run 50 points something the other day has dipped. Track is Salwa is back. I didn't know. Did this happen today? I think there's some meets on today. Um, I was trying to get this live out before because I know another content creator is going live. So I was trying to get my live out before he goes live. So that's interesting. That's interesting. The medal table isn't looking so clear now. Before things were looking dry on the 400-meter side, but now we have Paulino dipping below 49 seconds. Salwa is back, and back meaning running competitive times. Even though Margaret, well, she said she's not running the 400 meters. We don't know what Sydney is doing yet. That's another thing. Why haven't we seen Sydney all year? Why is it that Sydney comes out and runs one race, two race, three race? Last year, Sydney come out and go trials. Before Sydney go US trials, where she did run? She ran one race before that, I think. One race, I think she ran before that. And then she went to trials, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't hear nobody questioning Sydney in the sense that where are you? Why are you not? You're not, because you're not running, you're not able to perform, right? But in this instance, we have Shelly and Elaine not running. So now they're saying because they're not running, they're not able to perform. I was thinking about it and I'm like, can come out and start on some ridiculous time. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? Because Sydney come out and broke world record all the time and we don't see her running. I think somebody's calling. Give me a second, Trackies. For who doesn't know, when you live, I guess the first probably anyway, but anyway, when you live in Jamaica, people just randomly turn up. So give me a second. Okay, sorry about that, Trackies. It is what it is. Again, when you're live, everything happens. Shakira benefited from her fast times before the Olympics and her ban for weed. She got the spotlight for those reasons. It's coincidental. Yes, I think she got the spotlight for those reasons. However, Shakira is 1 second again. Lord of back. All right, so check is there may be some slight noise because there's somebody here to change the light bulbs. Yes, have somebody to change the light bulbs. So so you're gonna hear some noise. So don't worry about that. What was I saying? Back to Shakiri. Yes, but I think she also leveraged that spotlight in her benefit to her benefit where she doesn't hide away because of the ban. She was very vocal. You heard her come out and saying things. A lot of things controversial, a lot of things Jamaicans didn't like to hear, but still she leveraged that popularity that she got off it or the fame that she got from it to her benefit. I'm saying Jamaicans need to learn how to leverage whatever you have, leverage it. Leverage whatever you have to offer. That's all. You can't just sit around and expect somebody to do it for you. Okay, if Usain Bolt didn't have such a strong team behind him, yes, World Athletics was or the world was amazed by his performances. But do you think he would be as big as he is now if his team didn't push him? And Jamaica push him. It's not Jamaica. It's not Jamaica. All right, I'm gonna all in the game. I'm gonna have to go over to Twitter and look at those results. And then I can get into them. And I don't plan on being on here too long anyway. I wanted to just do a quick Alana Reid take, and I'm now over an hour. No oversaturation. Young athletes need to replenish the stock all the time. More corporate investment is needed in athletics. Agreed. Um, the sport needs to be enlarged. Johan goes to India and it's a major media event. Why aren't the major meets in these countries with hundreds of millions of or over a billion people? What? Why aren't there major meets in these countries with Are you talking like when he goes to India for cricket? Cricket is big in India. So is athletics big in India? Oh, and if you ever notice how the India, I can guarantee you. I don't remember. I don't know what that javelin athlete is named from India, but I can guarantee you that he's making money. I can guarantee you that he's making money. You see how how the Indians push their athletes? It's crazy. Maybe it has to do something with the amount of people that are in the country. I don't know, but they hype up their athletes. He's a big global star. I don't know this. I don't know. This. I mean, I watch the javelin, but I'm not really interested in it that much to care who is in the event. But I watch it and I enjoy it. But I remember whichever day I was watching it, and they were just talking about this global star, and they were just talking about him, talking about him, talking about it. I was saying to myself, I know him. I've watched his performances before, but I didn't know he was this much of a global star. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ice Diamond League. I'm gonna do another live. I'm gonna do another live. So I'll get into Diamond League a different day. Track is, wanna not donate? Wanna not donate? Did I ever give you something to donate? I'm asking for donations and there's nothing to donate. Donate to. Because we're not monetized. So please donate. Please donate. Okay? How am I gonna stay looking nice on this live stream if you don't donate? Um Where's that link? I'm trying to find it. I forget to put these things up before I start my stream. Honestly. It's PayPal trackies. So please head on over and donate. Or I won't stay with you all. I won't stay with you all and be talking. I spend hours talking to you all. So you can donate. It's there. I put it in the thingy. It's a link. You can. I'm sure you can click it or something. I don't know. I'm hoping it's clickable. It's not saturation. It's vision. We need them for the future. Javon Francis. What about Javon Francis? Some of the athletes only did. Oh, you mean burnout? But Javon Francis never go to college. You are? Me? How? Okay, when he comes. All right, I'm not gonna say anything. Do you? I don't think so. I think this was there better based on color scheme. Some athletes only did track in high school for scholarship. Take a Yes, Javon Blake is who I was talking about. From the moment Javon graduated from high school, when I saw his subjects, I said, bye bye, Javon. Have fun. Enjoy your life. I know you're going to be great at whatever it is, but I know it's not track and field. So some people, some athletes take up scholarship, get scholarships just to go to college, and then they don't want to have nothing to do with the sport after that. So when we see these quote unquote failures, we have to put things into context. Why did they not progress? Is it really because of burnout, or is it because they chose to quit the sport for whichever reason? Marketing is everything. What are companies looking for? Times is just the start of it, right? Time performances, amazing performances are just the start of it. But at the end of the day, they need to get a return on their investment. So, how are you going to give them a return on your investment if you are not quote unquote marketable? Yes, I may be doing having great performances, but I'm not marketable. So I can't sell nothing. So if I can't sell nothing, who is gonna want to give me a deal? You know what I mean? All right. Let's compare it to the girls that we see on Instagram, right? The Instagram models. That's what they call them. Yeah, you see they look a particular way. Why do you think they have to go out of their way to do these surgeries to look a particular way? Nobody now gonna give them no deal for promote no clothes, for sell no whatever they're selling if they don't look a particular way. So if they don't make themselves appealing, they can't sell anything. So we need to figure out how we the people, we the athletes, they need to figure out how to make themselves appealing. I can do what I can do on my end by promoting our athletes and just talking about them all day, every day, making them seem like they're the best thing under the sun. But what can the athletes do? What can the country do? The government? What can they do? Nobody's doing nothing. Nobody's doing anything. And then they grumble when they're not earning enough. Track in high school sometimes pays for their schooling. Some did it. Oh, perfect. I'm glad you said that. A lot of athletes benefit when they're in high school because again, track is an outlet. A lot of people are coming from less fortunate backgrounds. So whoever gets bought to go to whichever school and they take care of obviously their schooling, but not only that, they make their living conditions more comfortable. So a lot of times we see athletes don't go any further. It's not because the sport did them in. There are reasons behind this. So I don't want it to make you guys to make it look like the sport is just doing in people. All in the game, I'm gonna get to that, and I'm not doing it on this stream either. So I'm sorry for you. I think the saturation argument is as far as the available slots to make the national team. I watched Antonio run on Saturday and I see that he was a 100 200 meter and I was really impressed. Okay. When it comes to the available slots, you have to remember that it's looked at from a global standpoint, right? So when you look at all the countries that are part of participating maybe at the Olympics, how many countries can field three solid people? Not many, not many. It's not as much as some of you may even think. It's just a handful. Why do you think it's always Kenya, Jamaica, USA, Ethiopia? Why do you think it's always those people that are quote unquote top of the medal table when we're at World Championships comes around? Because those are the countries that can field the most athletes in the most events, and then it starts to trickle down as you go down. You may see a one medal here, and it may be just the one person that the country sent, and they were able to get a medal, but they had three slots. So in this situation, when I again, it can't be seen as saturation when, from a global standpoint, most countries can't even take up those three slots. Saturated. We have so many good athletes, so much that that a 10.86 athlete might not qualify if everyone decides to run for it. Let's be real, be blessed. We only have 3 athletes right now that are faster than 10.68. We may be forecasting athletes to run faster than this time that you've put up. However, until they actually do it, they haven't done it. So right now we only have 3. Maybe some of the 100, 200 meters should try other events. Maybe. We're too sprint focused. Didn't say the sports. Didn't say the sports. He did say the 100 meters. What are you saying, Be blessed? I don't know what this is saying. Hey, Chat Diamond, what's up? 60 people watching, 23 likes. Chat Diamond, you're always looking out. Look how much people are on the stream. Come on, guys, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, and of course, support the PayPal. Oh, Chat Diamond always looking out. No, my dear, not me. I go to people who are knowledgeable. Based on the subscriber count, based on the subscriber count, I can tell, I know what you all do. I know what, and by you all, I don't mean you specifically, Mark, but I'm just saying this is just how people are in general. Like the stream, Chat Diamond, I need to make you a mod. How do I do this? 1 second. I need to figure out how to make Chat Diamond a mod, and then I can continue. Lord of mercy, I don't know how to do this. No, I don't know how to do this. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to make you a mod. I think I figured it out the last time I used to do the streams, last year when we used to do streams a lot. But this year, obviously, I haven't done it much and I've forgotten completely. I'll figure it out and make you a mod. Thank you so much. I didn't even ask if you want to be a mod, but I'm forcing it on you anyway. Positive hat, not controversial hat. Controversy sells, but our people need to be backing our athletes from a positive perspective, because at the end of the day, people need to look on and see that this hype that you're getting is going to translate to money. It needs to translate to money, right? So all of the hype can't be surrounding you, can't be negativity, because if all day every day I'm doing is hating on you, then it means if you start promoting a product, me not gonna buy. Yes, I'm gonna watch you promoting it. You may get a lot of views because all the haters are watching, but at the same time, it's not going to translate to money. So yes, we need positive hype. Positive. Okay, I need to figure this out, Chat Diamond. I need to figure it out. During the Bolt era, we used to say we have too much men in the 100 meter. Now we can be. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope people remember Mr. Turner. I don't know what is happening with that first name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it right now. And but yes, Mr. Turner. Based on what used to transpire back then, do you remember how much people switched allegiance? Do you know how much people tried to switch allegiance and failed? Do you know how much people gave up running track and field? And look there, when Bolt retire, when you Asaka done for, when as Johan get injured, what? We don't have nobody. So now you're talking about oversaturation. You're gonna tell the people themselves you go quit track and field and go find something else to do. And then when Elaine gone, when Shelly gone, when Cherika gone, we don't have nobody. Thank you, Mr. Turner, for bringing up that point. Very solid point. I remember watching a whole lot of people switch allegiance or try to switch allegiance, and so it some never work for, some people it work for, and some people just stop run. You are absolutely correct. Usain Bolt is a prime example. Superb talent and extraordinary personality. Hence the highest paid track and field athlete ever. You have to do something for yourself. Kenya has 1,000 athletes for the 800 meters. The 26.2 miles, 98% world class. 98% of them are world class? Wow. Kenan, if you start look, well, I'm seeing Omeniala in that 100 meters, but yeah, just like somebody said earlier, they need to start looking at other events. They need to start looking at other events. Just like how Jamaica has too much people based in a lot of y'all's opinions in the women's 100 meters, and they need to branch out. Kenya needs to branch out too. To hell, when Kenya start branch out, they might go start dominating, but anyway. No. Swimming is world class. Ton of people saturated in different countries. Yeah, but the difference with swimming is there's a pro league. So outside of the Olympics, these people stay swimming in these pro leagues, right? So even though there's still only 8 lanes, right? There's a pro league, and I think for the pro league, you send as many. You're not limited in the amount of athletes that represent a country. So while you're limited in terms of a championship to 3, 4, depending on if you have a dependent champion or you're a Diamond League winner, right? For the pro league, I don't think you're limited in the sense of how many people that you can send. So if track and field now creates a pro league, money there are ways. There are ways. We just have to figure it out. Track just has to figure it out. Track is an individual sport. Most sports are individual sports. In the example given before, swimming. Swimming is an individual sport. Every man, woman for themselves. But they make money. They make money. So what is it that track and field isn't doing? What is it that track and field isn't doing? I was reading or watching something? I don't remember. And they said that what sporting event took the blueprint from another one and became successful? I think it's a basketball took the blueprint from another event and became successful. Track and field needs to figure it out. Yes, it's an individual sport, so it won't work the same way a team sport works, but at the same time, figure something out. That's why you're in power. Why are you in power if you can't figure something out? Elaine had a highly successful 2021 season because of her getting much needed rest owing that to COVID 2019. I guess I don't think we should spread false narratives just to happen for athletes. That's toxic. Approach that's a toxic approach that spreads misinformation. At the end of the day, there is no record for the most hyped athlete. Okay. False narratives. I agree. We shouldn't spread false narratives. But just because I said we should hype up Elaine's time as a world record, is it really a false narrative? Is it really a false narrative? Yes, FloJo has the world record, but there's so many questions over that floor record. The wind being the biggest factor. The wind being the biggest factor. And when the show results that during the same time the wind was not dead, yet somehow that 1049 came back as a dead wind. as well, when you look at the previous rounds, all had crazy positive wins. And just in this one race, there was a dead wind. And I'm not even talking about the quote unquote, use of prohibitive substances. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the wind. The wind to me is the biggest factor. The biggest factor. Right? So there are a lot of people with quote unquote question marks over the validity of that run. Not because we're hating on FloJo because we think of some substance. No, I don't care about the substance. I'm saying that when the long jump, was it the long jump or the triple jump was going on at the same time, right? There was a massive negative wind for pushing these athletes back, yeah, in the faces of these athletes. And in the same breath, so if they have a massive negative wind and they're in the opposite direction, that means there's a massive following wind for FloJo. Why is it that her time came back at dead wind? It was impossible. A lot of people have accounts, the flags were flying all over the place. It was crazy. There's no way that was dead wind. You know what a still day looks like? Oh, most countries are successful in any sport that has a number of athletes to choose from. The more participants in the event ensures that the yeah, yeah. So yeah, no. Oh yeah, his name is Niraj. I hope I'm saying it right. Chopra. I know, and I know I call him by his last name, Chopra. But yeah, he's making money. He's making money. No, the deal. Are you trying to tell me that Shakira got this deal from 20, what was it? 2019? The 2 point whatever million deal I'm hearing? That's what they gave her in 2019? Or was it 2018? Whichever year it was that she burst out. I mean, okay. I hear that the next Jamaican or two got suspended. Look here. Sonic Marsh, I said this on my last stream. And right now, I love watching race take, as I told you all. We may not have the same opinion, but I watch everybody because I like it. It's weird listening to yourself only. It's always good to hear different perspectives on a point, right? So I watch everybody that covers sport for the most part, athletics here. So I know when Ray is posting. I think I follow him on Twitter. And right now he's annoying me because I understand that he can't say who it is, obviously, but I just don't want to know. You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting down here hyperventilating, and my heart is wrenching because I have to sit here knowing that there's somebody with a positive test that, and I'm not going to find out about it until God, He knows when. But that's all going to be stressing me out until I find out. I don't want to be stressed out until I find out. So let me find out who it is when they do it, and I keep it pushing, and I be stressed in that moment and keep it pushing. But I don't want to find out weeks before, months before, and I'm stressing about it from months before. I don't want to. So I honestly, I don't want to hear about no more positive tests until they tell us the information about the people because it's stressing me out. The moment I hear Jamaica, I immediately start stressing. The little guy Aaron Knight that runs for the USA, 19-year-old. I don't think he's 19. Is he still 19? High school coach still coaches him and he ran. Okay. They're success stories. Thanks, Leroy. So there are success stories. So we're hoping for the best. As long as a female can consistently run sub 11, then they are ready to for pro. Not many can rub sub. I guess this is 11. Yeah, yeah. That sub 11 is pretty much a big barrier for many female athletes. So yeah, I agree that sub 11 is the standard. Does it mean that they're ready to go pro? I don't know because I think the mindset has a lot to do with it as well. And I gave you my reason. I don't know if you heard when I talked about Brianna Liston, but I gave you my reasoning for Brianna Liston because sport is such a cruel sport that you'll give your all and get no returns at the end of the day. So I feel like mentally you have to be tough to be even to just take part in the first place. but even just make it. You know what I mean? And I feel like she has to toughen up. I feel like her mentality, she needs some kind of, I don't know. I don't know. She just needs some kind of something. To me, she just seems like a little soft flower. Yeah, I saw that Nasser on 49 78. I think all in the game posted it. Yeah. Crazy. So she's definitely back and back in a big way. The best Africa, the best of Africa were the ones that sent to slavery. So Jamaica and the Caribbean going to be on top. I mean, wasn't it just two countries in Africa that were rated? Nigeria and another one. So I don't think that's the best of Africa. Maybe the best of Nigeria. If you watch that FloJo race, you can literally see her hair blowing in her face. That's when she's hugging her competitors at the end of the race. I don't know what these people are talking about. That race should be null and void, but it is what it is. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with hyping up Elaine Thompson's time as the world record, honestly. And if Jamaica had spun that narrative, yes, we may have gotten a lot of backlash, but who cares? Who cares if you want to hate on it? What's your Insta? Let's talk. I'm gonna give you my personal Insta, chat diamond, because to be honest, I don't know if you heard when I said it before, but I suck at social media. So I'm gonna give you my personal Insta. I'm not gonna give you TXT track time because I can tell you right now, I probably won't realize that you've messaged me. All you know is what? All you know is there. I see it. LOL. What are we talking about here? Oh, same thing happened to me. Yeah, it has stressed me out. All of them posts over Ray make up stress me out. Me don't want to see no more Ray posts, no more. Unless you have the name of the athlete ready, I don't want to see no more. Because you don't know what it does to somebody mentally that loves their Jamaican athletes when they see this. Because you start wondering who know. And then you start saying to yourself, say, because this is where it becomes troublesome now, because you start pick out your favorite, them and I say, as long as I know your favorite. But then you're like, but still, it still affects you because that person is still Jamaican. So you start play favoritism and you start say, as long as it's not XYZ, I don't want to be doing that because I want to love my Jamaicans equally. So I don't want to be picking and choosing. I don't want to be doing that. So anyway, trackies. I think I wanted to talk about Serena Cole as well, and I didn't. So let me just jump on Serena Cole as well. So a lot of you know that she was slated to go pro. She has gone pro. She is with Stephen Francis as well. Um, that's the club that she has joined, so that's MVP. And again, I want to go back. Last year, I'm not going to try to play any videos anymore, but last year I said it in a video. I said when they did the interview with her, and they said that with her coach, and he said that she's one going to become the focus this year. Two, she got multiple offers to go to college but chose not to go. I said I could have one reason why Serena Cole go back to school then. Because she want to go pro. So coming into this 2023 season, Serena going pro as well is not a surprise for me because I peeped it from last year. There's no way college is on your brain. You're getting a college offer and you don't go. Multiple and you don't choose to go. Yeah. So I already, saw this happening. You guys need to you guys need to when I say what I'm saying, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned to everything that I have to say or we have to say on this channel because I see it on a YouTube channel too, but I blocked it. Make sure you stay tuned to whatever I have to say because a lot of times the things that I come with, and I think about track and field a lot. So there's a lot that goes into my thought process before I bring it to you guys. So you can best believe there's something behind it. I'm not just speaking out of thin air. So when I see these things happening, a lot of times it's not a surprise for me. And yeah, you need to get in tuned with TXT Track Time. The views them not represent the facts that may have spit over here. The facts that are being spit over here, the views don't represent it. So make sure say on subscribe, make sure say on check back all the time for content. Hi, hola, Ali by nature. Just getting on upon. Yeah, the show's soon done because me there a long time now. I want to finish before Ray start his program. Um, Latoya, Antonia Watson runs 800, 400, 200. Antonia runs 800. What do you think about the race that run? I talk about it. I talked about her before in a previous stream. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. 1098 is a ridiculous time for any junior. As a matter of fact, seniors. I can guarantee you, most of the seniors that are running now will take that. Right. So it's a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic run. I did mention that she's now surpassed Alana Reid. Absolutely amazing. There was talk about, whether or not she should go to the US trials. And I said that, listen, running a one-off 1089 is great, but can she replicate that for 3 rounds? I don't know if that's a possibility just yet, but this is a great start for her. 1098. Persons here said that, it's a possibility that she should go pro. If that's what her team wants, no problem. I don't see any problem with somebody, living in the moment. If they can benefit from whatever skill they have in this moment, then benefit from it. I'm all for it. But of course, yeah, I see somebody here saying continue education. I'm all for them continuing their education because you always need a fallback. You always need a plan B. Yeah. So in this instance, go pro, but at the same time, have people around you that are able to manage your well-being. So while you're busily on the track training and you're just stressed out and tired, your body is hurting you all day, every day. There are people in the background that are just managing your personal life so that you can go further. I did not want Alana to take the pro. I did not want Alana to take the pro approach yet because the 100 female is a lot. Yeah, but 1092, come on. Even if you look at the field and say it's oversaturated, that 1092 is giving her money. May I take it? Are you crazy? 1092? A still day is like that. Listen, I live in Manchester. I was just on the road and it's a windy day. So I look sweaty, but you know what? And they call Mandeville for those who don't know. So like for Americans that don't know about Jamaica much, so they call Manchester Mandeville in particular cool. Well, then again, it's cool Manchester. They say cool Manchester. We are on a hill. It's always windy. And let me tell you sometimes we have a still day and I'm deading. I'm dying. And then I would say sometimes like, how did I used to live in Kingston? How did I used to live in Portmore? I can't fathom how I used to, and I would never move back to Kingston because if I can't manage Mandeville heat, me know me can't manage Kingston heat. Some people are concerned about Serena being in the same camp as the twins. Serena, it may be a good thing and it may be a bad thing. One thing I would say about Serena is the same thing I said about Brianna Liston. She has to toughen up. She has to toughen up. That mentality, that warrior mentality that Tina has, the rest of them need to get it. I don't know if it's something that is just ingrained in Tina from birth or she developed it over the years or whatever, but the rest of them need to develop that kind of warrior spirit. Hi Adrian, I'm glad to be here as well and I'm glad you joined. Um, I'm so happy they all go pro. The soft ones go to college. Yeah, some people need more time. Some people need more time. Pretty sure you it might have already be addressed. What you asked me again? Was that about Alana? Oh, yeah. So it's the Serena thing. It can be a positive where it can crush her mentally, but I'm looking at it from a positive perspective where mentally being around somebody that is as has such a warrior spirit like Tina, it can transfer to other people around her, and I think Tina needs that as well. Not Tina, Serena needs that. So hopefully her being around that kind of mentality where I don't want to lose to you ever, 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 and I'm gonna do everything in my power to best you, it may help her. So let's see. I'm just hoping for the best. Honestly, I don't want to hear no bad stories about them in the coming years. I'm just hoping for the best for all of them. Um, we have Janelle Smith, Burchell, Tina with Morrison. Okay. We have all of these athletes. Burchell hasn't dipped below 11 seconds. And neither has Janelle. Morrison was looking good earlier in the year, but I haven't liked her in her last two races. And Brianna has yet to dip below 11:10 this season. So we're talking about all of these, how much of athletes we have, but how much of them are really competitive, like globally, in terms of times. I really didn't think that dude Ray talking about Elaine. The reason why I say it is because he'll have link with them. Look here. You think that if Elaine tests positive, she gonna reach out and tell Ray? You think she gonna tell Ray of all people? She's gonna keep that to her chest as long as possible until there's no choice and the people them have to release the information because it don't set in a stone. She never tell a soul. So even if it's her, I'm sure she wouldn't tell Ray. But I'm praying it's not her. I pray it has nothing to do with her. When he said test positive and it was a high profile female the first time before he said something about 400-meter athlete, I said, dear God, help me. I don't hear nothing about no positive and no Jamaica. If no name now come, me no one here. Do you think Cole and the Clayton teams being in the same camp can pose a similar challenge to Shelly-Ann? It will. It will. But you're a professional athlete. You know how much time I go to workplace and you clash with people? Your workplace them don't perfect. As a matter of fact, I remember when I used to be in Kingston. I worked as a computer technician. And I had issues in one workplace and I thought that, moving to a different workplace. Is that rain? Oh my God. And I thought I'm moving. Chuckies, give me a second. I have things on my line. I have to pick them up. Lord have mercy. Life happens. This is crazy. Um, where was I? Do you think twins being in the same camp can force you on a challenge? Yeah, but back to what I was saying about this story with the twins. And listen, you're always, if once you have a competitive spirit, you're always gonna want to be the best. Yeah, but being the best shouldn't cause a clash with somebody else wanting to be the best, because you're both after the same thing. If you understand what I'm trying to say, so it can make or break you in the sense that the rivalry can push both of them to be even better, or the three of them to be even better versions of themselves, or it can foster negative energy where I don't like the fact that we're doing the same training and you're better than me. What's going on? Could it be that you're getting something, some special training someplace else that I don't know of? What's going on? Kind of thing, and it fosters negative energy. I'm praying that that's not the case. With these younger girls. Um, but yeah, and sometimes you just have to accept reality. Sometimes you just have to accept reality in the sense that somebody's just gonna be better than you. You know, somebody's just going to be better than you. Some all the things that you want, you may be sitting on watching somebody else get it. You may be working just as hard, but unfortunately that's just not your destiny, kind of thing. So would I be mad at somebody if I wanted something, the same thing, and they're the one that is reaping it? I don't necessarily think so. I just find a lane that's for me and something that I can be successful at. But I think the biggest thing is accepting reality. So let's say, for instance, Serena turns up now, and Serena somehow turns up better than the Clayton twins eventually. Should the Clayton twins be mad, or should the public be mad? No, because everybody's not going to be on the same level. If everybody's just not going to be on the same level, everybody's just not going to be on the same level. So prepare for it. So whoever ends up being the better athlete at the end of the day, just prepare for it, support it. From their perspective, just deal with it. Just deal with it. It's life. It's just life. You're gonna meet somebody that's better than you at something. It's life. You can either choose to continue down that field in the sense that, okay, you're better than me, but I'm still good enough to compete. I'm gonna keep competing, or I'm just gonna take myself away and either give up on the sport, find some place else to coach me, which may or may not work. You never know. Listen, they're gonna have to decide. I can't really speak to that. That sounds like way too much negativity right now as well. Something that I didn't even think about. But they're not the first set of athletes that I don't think. Shelly and Elaine, I'm talking about. They were not the first high profile athletes that were doing the same events at the same club. I don't think. Okay, I'm thinking back. Not Nesta Carter. Um, Johan Blake and Usain Bolt. Whilst at his prowess, you didn't hear the negative energy. After Usain Bolt retired, I think we heard when they came out, when Warren Weir, Johan, when all of them had come out, Kemar Bailey Cole and talked about, you know, the difference between Usain Bolt and themselves. You could sense that they fostered some negative energy because they felt like there were some biases there. So let's put it this way: if the coach himself is showing biases, then the athletes, they inevitably, you're human, inevitably you're gonna feel away. Um, so it's left up to the organization to put something in place where even if they have personal biases, it's not displayed. You know what I mean? That's the only way. Because thinking about it now, I was so illogical in my first stance. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was being a bit illogical to say, okay, it's life, just deal with it, kind of thing. From an organ, I don't think the athletes themselves would be to blame for something like that. I would think it's the organization. Because I remember when we did the Shelly-Ann video, I remember my sister was talking about, you know what, they should have put something in place where the environment would have fostered both athletes being successful. You know what I mean? So if it's a case where I'm at the club and I feel a certain energy from the coach, when it comes to my number one rival, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna foster negative energy. It's gonna foster negative energy. So it's for Steven to learn from his mistake, with Shelly and Elaine, because there was a mistake. He dropped the ball someplace. You know what I mean? So learn from his mistake with Shelly and Elaine, foster the correct environment for all athletes to thrive. So even though I'm saying at the end of the day, all of them will not end up at the same place, clearly because they're not the same person. So they're not going to end up at the same place. Somebody's going to be better than somebody else. At the end of the day, the environment that they were in, the kind of work environment didn't foster any negative energy. So at the end of the day, they don't leave with a bitter taste in their mouth. You know what I mean? And they're content with whatever they got out of it. So if at the end of the day, they only get to 10-8, or even if they don't get to 10-8, let's use Serena in this case. At the end of the day, if she doesn't dip below 11 seconds, she would still be content knowing that the coach did everything he could do for her. And this was just the roll of the dice for her, rather than her feeling that he focused all his energy on Tina and Tia, and she never got no attention, and that is why she ended up never dipping below 11 seconds. So yeah, in this instance, I'm glad you brought it up, and I'm glad I thought about it some more. Stephen Francis needs to learn from his mistake that he made with Shelly and Elaine, whatever happened, why both of them fell out. Because people don't remember, Shelly and Elaine were very close to the point where it's not even like how you see Sherry and Shelly close. I remember watching Shelly's what's that thing? Oh gosh, well, before she had her baby, right? And Elaine was front and center sitting there. I think I remember seeing Nesta. I'm trying to remember all of the athletes that I saw, right? I don't recall seeing Sherika in that tape, none at all. So this Sherika friendship is probably something that was developed after, right? But Shelly and Elaine were very, very, very close. And whatever happened, I don't know the backstory as it relates to what happened between Shelly and Elaine, but something happened and bad feelings are carried. Let me close the window. Something happened and bad feelings are carried. And from then on, all hell broke loose between the two of them until eventually Shelly left. And then you see Elaine come and leave after that, right? The mere fact that Elaine left, before Elaine left, right, we were trying to figure out what was going on. And most people were holding their mouth. Most people were holding their mouth. But I remember the talk at the time was Stephen Francis has backed Elaine over Shelly. I think that was the narrative. I don't remember where I read it. I think I read it or either heard somebody say it in an interview or something. But the narrative was he backed Elaine, so Shelly had no choice but to go. Think about it. You started with me and you're backing Elaine. You think the negative feelings now will carry? Then no, Elaine takes up herself and leaves. And part of the narrative I heard at the time was um something circling around was how could Elaine leave when he backed her from over in the whole Shelly Elaine saga, right? And I'm thinking to myself, clearly the issue was with something with Steve Francis. Are you okay, Miss Susan? What happened? Yes. Okay. Um, what was I saying? Right. So the thought process was why would she leave when he clearly backed her over Shelly? But thinking about it more now, I'm thinking to myself, clearly there was something happening with Steve Francis with the two of them. So you see, when you foster that kind of environment where either you play a favoritism with one with the other or whatever, you're gonna have negative feelings. Somebody's gonna end up with negative feelings. So in this case, and I don't know if nothing really goes on, I'm just saying allegedly this is what happened, right? So if it's really the case where he backed Elaine over Shelly back then Elaine turn around and leave. It could be seen as though he doesn't have any quote unquote loyalty, because if he was quick to throw Shelly under the bus, let's just say that, throw Shelly under the bus. Maybe he threw Elaine under the bus when he came to Sharika. Now that I'm thinking about it, we have a miraculous Sharika here running now. You never know. So again, track is, oh God, now that I mentioned that, that means he hasn't changed. That means he hasn't changed, and maybe Serena is walking into hell. Track is, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Let me stop talking about this, because the more I think about it, the more I think I'm carrying myself down a rabbit hole. I think Shanti will go pro. Bashan Jackson is her dad. That guy was a spirited competitor in his time. Yeah, I remember in the 400-meter hurdles for sure. 100% Batman Jackson. Sharika is the fastest. Sharika is the fastest 200-meter runner last year. Yes, she's the fastest. 200-meter. Somebody said 100, and I said no, and I said Elaine is the fastest 100-meter woman alive. So bear in mind, FloJo still holds both world records, 100 meters and 200 meters. 100 meters, 10.49, and 200 meters, 21.34. So those are the two world records. And Sharika is the fastest woman alive in the 200 meters, 21.45, while Elaine, 10.54, is the fastest in the 100 meters. We're not Africans, we're prisoners of war. Mighty. Well, right now we're Jamaican, so keep it. That is it. When is the Jamaican trials? It's June 6 to 9. No, July. Sorry, July 6 to 9. American youngsters always run fast, never surprise a Jamaican, never yet scared. No, we welcome the competition. Welcome the competition. Oh, that's nice. Which part of Manchester? Although I'm not going to tell you which part of Manchester I'm from, but I'm pretty close to the town. Pretty close. I'm 15 minutes out from the town. Ray a madman. Try watching Ray. Listen, you have to make the sport entertaining. You guys can't fight against entertainment. When the sport boring, of course, the sport boring. There's somebody making it entertaining and have a problem with the entertainment. One thing about Ray though, he's hella biased. He will find every reason under the sun. He will find every reason under the sun to back an American. Pretty similar to what I do over here, which is I'll find every reason under the sun to block a Jamaican. But yeah, he's very biased. But I still enjoy watching him. Who is this? Where am I? Real madman. Racefulness. Sorry for the repeated question, by the way. LOL. I just wanted to repeat it just in case you never caught it. Okay. Well, you shouldn't have reposted because you make me think too much, and then the thinking too much has brought me into one big whirlpool. Do you think Kevin will make the world championship team in the 200? It's possible. The only person that are stand a chance against her, no. Outside challengers, of course, outside of the big three, where I'm looking at Kevona, I'm looking at, what's her name? I just had the three of them on the tip of my tongue. I know it's gone. Natalia White and what's her name from former athlete of Heidel. Those are the three that looks the strongest right now. I don't know what Brianna Liston is coming with. I was hoping that she would turn up at trials, but to me it looks like she picked up an injury at some point. And if that's the case, I would rather her just get back stronger and wheel and come again for next year. If she started her season later, because it's one of two things. She either got injured or they decided to start later, because I'm trying to figure out what happened between her and Favor. Why the two of them don't look as strong as I expected them to look going into NCAAs. So either they both picked up an injury or the coach decided, all right, we're just going to taper things for the world championships. If that's the case, then I can get why Favor is coming out that much later, because they know based on her country setup, I'm sure she's guaranteed a spot on the team to the World Championships. So on that breath, if they're doing the same thing for Brianna Liston, then it could be that the training is geared towards her training up at trials. If that's the case, then she has a shot as well. If not, and they picked up an injury, I hope she just wheels and come again for next year. But I'm still expecting great things from Brianna Liston. But for now, that's what I'm seeing. Heard from a good source that the Clayton twins and Cole doesn't get along well from high school days. It's clear that they don't get along. I think I saw a live. I saw a live um by Serena, and just some stuff that she said made me think that they don't get along. And then I saw something that Tina said later on, congratulating I think Alana. And if you were friends with somebody else, I think it would be worded differently. But remember, the track is these athletes are young. I didn't grow up in the social media age where all of my words were under scrutiny, and I think it's unfair for us to scrutinize these youngsters. Let them be young. I remember when after I left school, Facebook came out, and some strange reason we got on this thread. Somebody created a thread. I don't remember which one of my former schoolmates created a thread. We're talking about a former teacher, and um we had the most awful things to say. I don't think we were 20 yet, but I think we were big enough. I think we were probably like 19-ish. I don't remember. But yeah, we had the most awful things to say. And I didn't know that, like, at the time, I didn't even consider how awful the things were that we were saying. But I went back on my social media recently, and I was just trying to clear some stuff up. So I saw the post, and I clicked on it. And Truckies, would you believe it? That everybody that was under that post has retracted everything that they've said. I was the only comment that was left. So, under the comments, it will show you all of the existing comments. So I'm clicking on it now to see all of the existing comments, including mine. And when I look, there's no comment. Did I say this at this age? But anyway, that being said, they're kids. Allow them to be kids. Kids will say stuff, and it is what it is. Just keep it pushing. But I already got the vibe that they weren't friends, and I'm not making a big deal out of it. You're not friends with everybody. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? You have differences, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be we should be, scrutinizing their friendship. No, we shouldn't. Are you scrutinizing the people that other people are friends with? I don't think so. Leave them alone, and let them be friends with whoever they want to be, and not be friends with whoever they don't want to be friends with. It's fine. It's life. Oh, for real, Ryan. It doesn't, again, don't harp on it. It's fine if they don't want to be friends. They don't have to be friends. Hey, suppose when they are running at trials, you have, well, first, second, and third. No, sir. Oh, first, second, and third. No, sir. What are something? I mean, it's possible. I mean, we had a 1-2-2 in the Olympics, so it's possible. And recently, I saw a dead heat between Jasmine Camacho Quinn and Alicia Johnson. So dead heats are possible. I don't know how they would make it out though, because somebody would have to be left. So they'll do a runoff. They'll do a runoff. They would do a runoff because somebody has to stay. There's no spot for the person. It is possible that, yeah, it's possible for Kevona to make the 200-meter team for sure. Either way, I think we still have an extremely deep female sprinting team and are gonna have one for years. Yeah. And remember, our depth in this 200-meter is field, our sprint field is not new. We've always had strong competition in the not strong competition, so we've always fielded a strong team in the 200 meters from as far back as I can remember, right? So it's not nothing new, and I expect it to go on to continue because females just have a different mentality. Their work ethic, I think, is completely different from men. Somebody always says to me that women were meant to be a burden. So I guess because we're meant to be a burden, I don't know what that means, but anyway, we're meant to be a burden, then we can manage all of this extra workload and stress, I suppose. But yeah, It is what it is when it comes to that. Um, Not good to have two big stars at MVP. History will repeat itself. In the long run, Turner will be the superstar. I don't know who is going to be the superstar in the long run, but now that I've unpacked it in my brain, it looks like Steven has learned his lesson. So, or hasn't changed. So if it hasn't changed, then the same thing may happen again. Unfortunately, I heard Steven super support the toxic rivalry at MVP when Shelly and Elaine was there. God. Mm. Her baby shower. Right, her baby shower. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I couldn't remember the phrase baby shower. But at her baby shower, she was front and center. And if you looked at like previous events, pictures, they were there, they were always together. So I don't know what happened, but something went wrong. 2016, her baby shower was 2017. So they were still good up to 2017. I don't know what happened after that. You see it? Shelly, Elaine is Shelly's son, godmother. So all of these things. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but they should have fostered an environment where two big global stars in the same event can work together, even seeing one better than the other. So even me looking on, let's say I'm Elaine and I'm looking on and I'm saying Shelly is better than me. Right now, it's something that I may end up content with because of the environment that I'm in. But if it's not fostering the correct energy, then it's just gonna make you breed hateful thoughts. And it takes nothing for an individual to breed hateful thoughts. I think the Jamaican based on content creators do a lot better than the US based content creators as promoting their athletes. I ended up watching Jamaican content creators to find out about USA athletes. Um, I don't think it's a case where they do a better job. It's just that Jamaicans push track and field more than Americans do. So you see, like if I do a video, no, I'm demonetized, so I'm kind of shadow banned, so the views are not really up. But if I do a video talking on a topic, and let's say Ray does a video talking on a topic and he posts it, same short video, maybe 1 minute, whatever, the likelihood of Ray's video blowing up to maybe 30,000 is not as high as mine blowing up to 30,000 because Jamaicans are just gonna watch my video and support it versus say a Ray what doesn't have that many Americans, supporting and watching it. But it's not to say that content is better. He was backing Elaine because Elaine is more talented. Whatever the reason is, it wasn't a good environment for Shelly. And then fast forward to 2 years later, it wasn't a good environment for Elaine because apparently now he's back in Sharika. I mean, who to tell? You have a point. Shanti going to Arkansas. Is that before or after she ran the 1089? Hi Saga, what's up? More yeah, Ashanti Moore, right. Wow, from Facebook out your old what? Wait. Wow, from Facebook out you're an old pretty late. I'm not old. I'm wise. Serena doesn't get along with the twins because of the power struggle that the twins were in the springs. I don't care what reason they don't get together. That's none of my business. Why they don't get along, that's none of my business. I don't really care. I'm saying for the environment going forward, um, at MVP, he needs to figure out a way to foster an environment where no negative energy is allowed to fester because once it starts to fester, you're gonna see it start hashing out, which is what we saw happen between Shelly and Elaine at Olympics, at World Championships. You don't want these things to start breaking out onto the track. I don't want to see it. So he needs to foster some kind of environment where all of them can work together. They're individuals. They're allowed to talk to who they want to talk to, be friends with who they want to be friends with without having people scrutinize that. And I'm not going to scrutinize it. I don't really care. That has nothing to do with track. If they don't want to be friends, that's fine. If they want to be friends, that's also fine. I don't care. Big up, Quasi. I don't subscribe to that burden bearing foolishness. No, thank you, ma'am. Me either. I don't subscribe to it. But when you look at how women, all right, let me give you an example. My dad died when I was before 6 months old. I would say 5+ months old, and left my mother with 6 young children, right? And my mother had to struggle to take care of those 6 children all on her own. And when I think about it, is it something that a man will be able to successfully do? Maybe. But when you look at um, how many men have been able to successfully on their own take care of their family, their kids, especially that amount of kids, you don't really see that many quote unquote success stories in that sense. Yeah, they may be able to take a take care of 1 or 2 kids, on their own, but 6 kids, managing 6 kids all on your own. Yeah, yeah. So I understand why people say women are meant to be a burden. I don't subscribe to it, no, but women can really bear a lot. Women can bear a lot. I watch your channel from Poland. Hey, so we not only have people from South Africa, Nigeria, so we have people from Poland as well. Big up yourself. We're large. What's up, Simba? Okay. Big channel Jamaican track and field. Okay. One question, is Elaine going to compete this year? I haven't seen her in the last few meets. I haven't seen her as well. I have a theory, and that I posted a video as it relates to why we haven't seen Elaine. Well, it was really in a response to Oral Tracy's video, honestly, saying that Elaine is hiding. I'm sorry, we're not going to see Elaine for the rest of the season because she's not good. Oh yes, and interestingly, Oral Tracy did a video recently on Sharika, and he said we don't know what's going on with Shelly, and we don't know what is going on with Elaine. So I said, then wait. Me not thinking that people were offense and say Elaine now come out for the rest of the season. So how is it we went from Elaine not coming out for the rest of the season to we don't know what is going on with Elaine? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Or literally said, I don't know what is going on with Shelly and I don't know what is going on with Elaine. Right after saying that Elaine is not coming out for the rest of the season because she no good. God, Simba, you have to go watch the video. Watch the video. I don't want to be repeating myself too much, but watch the video. Steven was at fault with how things played out between it. Yeah, I believe he was the crux. I believe he was the crux of the issue between Shelly and Elaine. And unfortunately, I've fallen out with a really good friend already. And it's really hard to swallow your pride and mend that friendship. So I don't see either swallowing their pride to try to mend the friendship. Maybe when they're both retired, they'll come back together at some point. But it's really hard when you're really close to someone for one person because you're always gonna feel like you lost out. You know what I mean? Or you're less than, or because you're the one that reached out. So you're not gonna want to swallow your pride and be the one that reaches out and says something to squash the beef. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm still not friends with this close person, and I don't foresee myself ever being close with them again. But but yeah, it's life. It just happens. Um, LOL. Sorry to say you're old. It takes a village. There are men that are very proactive in the and yeah, no, for sure, for sure. There are men that are very active. Even more active than some mothers are in their kids' lives. But I'm saying when you look at the ratio of parents that have been able to successfully take care of their kids as a single parent, it's mainly on the woman's side. Maybe because the men don't get to keep the kids most of the time, but still, fathers will come and pick up their kids on the weekend, but they don't want to have them all day, every day, driving them crazy. I've even heard of instances where a man will be in the house and the kids are in the house and the mother's obviously in the house and the kids are making noise and he's calling to the mother to come and tell him if stop making noise. Tell your kids, go tell them to shut up. Why is everything left on the mother? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. They have a month between now and trials. to show the kind of form they're basically in. Shelly doesn't have to turn up for trials. The only reason Shelly would have to turn up for trials is if she decides to run the 200 meters, but she doesn't have to go to trials, not at all, right? So she can just sit on back and wait until World Championships. As it relates to Elaine, she has to turn up to trials, but I've been thinking about it recently, and I think about how Sydney McLaughlin operates, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we see her one time for the year. I'm hearing that she's in the Paris Diamond League, and then she turns up at her trials, and she broke world record. So Elaine can do the same, hopefully. Hi, Matt. That's the sad part of Elaine. Elaine used to love you. Yeah, they both loved each other. I don't know what went wrong. They had a really, really strong relationship, and shit just hit the fan. Oh, sorry, did I use a curse word? Apologies. Something hit the fan, and they're no longer as close as they used to be. It's life. We just have to keep pushing and keep motioning. It is what it is. Both athletes are great on their own, and we should always, highlight each athlete separately in terms of, let it not be a case where you're always putting down one to promote the other. I never put down one to promote the other. Like, I'm always promoting Shelly, I'm always promoting Elaine, I'm always promoting Sherika, and I'm always talking about their strengths, as it relates to what they can do in a race. And I ain't putting down Elaine to boost up Sherika, and I'm not putting down Shelly to boost up Sherika. I'm boosting Sherika based off her own strengths. You know what I mean? And a lot of persons on YouTube I see, they put down one to boost up the other. That's not something I'm going to do. It may have been asked, but is there any truth to the doping rumors? I don't know if there's any truth to it, but what I did say is that it's stressing me out hearing these rumors. I'd rather not hear rumors. So I would like Ray. I don't know if he watches our content, but I'd like Ray to please be quiet because he's stressing me out, and I'm going to be mentally stressed. My heart is going to be hurting me until I hear the names. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to hear anything more about no positive nothing until they're ready to release all the information about who the athlete is. At that moment, I will digest it, face reality, and move on with life. But the mere fact that I have no chance or opportunity to know who it is, I'm going to be stressing, hoping and praying it's not who I think it is. All right, something I wanted to get into. NCAAs is tomorrow. I want to jump into quickly what to look out for from a Jamaican perspective. I think they start with the men. So which event is this? The 110-meter hurdles. So in the men's 110-meter hurdles, the semifinals is tomorrow. And from a Jamaican standpoint, we have Gianna Roberts and we have Philip Lemonius. So you can look out for those two athletes for tomorrow in their semifinals. As well in which event is this? 400 meters. In the men's 400 meters, we have, where is his name? We have, am I missing some names here? Oh yeah, we have Javon Powell. Is it only Javon Powell? I'm sorry, I didn't write this down. Let me do my name check thing. I think it's Javon Powell here. Yeah. So in the men's 400 meters, we have Javon Powell. All right. Moving on to the next event. We have the men's long jump. We have Kerry McLeod, and we have Wayne Pinnock. In the men's 800 meters, we have Therese Roden and we have Navaski Anderson. In the men's shot put, we have, let's just scroll through. We have Roger Stoner. Is it Roger Stoner? No. Yeah, I think Roger Stoner. Okay. And in the last event, from a Jamaican perspective, is the men's 200 meters, and we have Demar Francis in the men's 200 meters. So that's going on tomorrow. for the NCAAs. I'm hearing there are a lot of results posted online about meet that went on, I think, today. So let me just scroll through to see if I can see any results to update you all on. I see people posting Paris Diamond lead. What happened between Daniel Roberts and some person? Did he elbow him? Or was he just... I don't like this angle. It's so hard to tell from this angle. It looks like their hands hit. I think both of them were on the outside of their lane. So I mean, so one was on the inside and the other one was on the outside of his lane. So they clashed. I don't necessarily think it's an issue where somebody should be disqualified. I hope nobody was disqualified for something like that. Alicia Johnson seems to be getting better and better. She won 12.41, not a bad time at all. I'm trying to figure out why Alicia Johnson still doesn't have a sponsorship. Me still trying to figure out why this she's world class. I'm trying to figure out why she still doesn't have a sponsorship. I'm talking about from an American perspective. I see sprinters much slower than her in the hurdles have a sponsorship and she doesn't. Is the case where they're not giving her what she wants, so she's choosing to not take the contract? Is that what's going on? Because I don't know how athletes so good still doesn't have a contract. And I see slower athletes than her that represent the same USA that have sponsorships in the women's 100-meter hurdle. So make it make sense. Somebody explain that to me. An American may know. Let me know. I'm still scrolling through. I'm just trying to find the latest on any sports thing to... Okay, I'm seeing here where Daryl Nita runs a personal best of 22.23. It's so frustrating watching Daryl Nita run these personal best times. And she's been looking good from season started, admittedly. And Brittany Anderson is out. And Brittany was looking good, so I was hoping that this season she would come and drop something spectacular. And it's just so sad that she's been put out for the rest of the season with injury. I'm hoping that she comes back much better next year. But it's clear that this new coach is doing something good, because Daryl Nita has been looking really good from year started, so that's good. So Area 9 wins in 19.95. In the same event, the 200 meters, sorry, at the Continental Tour Gold. So same Bish Gosh. I hope I'm saying that right. Bish Gosh. We have a Polish person here. Can you tell me how to pronounce Bish Gosh from an English perspective? A pure rumor agwan. Yeah, I feel so too. Me can't deal with them rumor. Yeah, it has stressed me out. It has stressed me out. You should swallow your pride and reach out for peace, whether you're in the right or in the wrong. All right. Neville, I understand what you're saying, but here's the problem with me and this particular friend. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I'm a Scorpio, and what I've always learned growing up is that Scorpio people, hold the people that they call their friends, they'll ride or it's a ride or die situation. So I've always been ride or die with this friend from I've known her. And the problem with it is that every time we've had an issue, I've always been the one to reach out. And I said to myself, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Clearly you don't view this friendship the same way I view with the same value. And it's pointless trying to chase something that doesn't exist. So from that perspective, I've decided, okay, I'm no longer going to chase it because I'm the only one that values it, apparently. So yeah, I'm no longer going to chase that. And that's the reason why I'm choosing not to reach out, because I've always reached out in the past, and we end up right back at square one for the same issue, might I add, and then I'm still reaching out to you trying to mend things. And I'm like, okay, first and foremost, the issue in itself tells me that you don't value the friendship. And the mere fact that I have to keep reaching out to you tells me that you don't value the friendship as well. So I stopped. So yeah, I'm no longer going to be doing it. Hope Christopher Taylor gets off. Hope Christopher Taylor learns from this. I hope Christopher Taylor learns from this, and I hope all the other Jamaican athletes looking on learn from this as well. What was your comment about Alana? I came late. I still get you never. She wants X amount of money. Okay, I was thinking that it had to do with money because there was no way she can't get a contract. So it must have to do with the amount of money that they're giving her. Alana, happy she's gone pro. Expected it. I tried to play a video where I talked about it before, but the audio was poor, so that didn't really work the way I wanted it to work. But she's gone pro. Happy about that. She's staying with her high school coach. I'm saying give him time to see if it will work. Um, Plus I had some thought process as it relates to why he was so mad about the whole Kerika Hill thing too. And I'm thinking that maybe he wanted to coach Kerika and was mad about it, but it is what it is. We move on. Yes, I have no problems with her staying with her coach. I think we have to give everybody a chance, give them a chance. If they fail, then they fail. But what if they don't fail? I think we're too pessimistic in the mindset where we're always thinking failure, failure, failure. Everything doesn't have to be a failure. And even if it ends up being a failure, this is just how life works. You have to go out on a limb. If you don't take a chance, you never know what's going to happen. So take the chance and see what happens. I'm hoping for the best though. I'm praying it works out for her. But as a previous commenter did say, if it doesn't work out for her, then she can move on. And then I agree. I agree with that. Work with him. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you can move on. Let's see here. I'm just looking for other track updates to let you guys know before I bounce. I'll be back on tomorrow because tomorrow, again, as I said, the NCAA starts tomorrow. The outdoor championships starts tomorrow. So I'll be back on tomorrow talking about track and field. I'm really excited to see the Jamaican performances that come out of the NCAA championships because these are people that are feeding our program, the ones that we're looking forward to take over when the older heads go, or if even if they're good enough to oust the best that we have now, no problem. When you look at a Jadon Hibbert, he's the best in the world right now. I was thinking about him recently, and I was thinking that I felt like I remember when Kerry McLeod started college. I was looking at Kerry, and I was thinking Kerry might be the one. No, before Kerry, I was thinking it was Clive. I was thinking Clive might be the one in the triple jump for us. It never really happened. I don't know if it's going to happen for Clive, but I never say never. But I remember thinking Clive is going to be the one. And then I remember watching Kieran and I'm thinking, oh, Kerry might be the one. But then, the performances kind of dropped. But then Jadon started. And out of nowhere, it's like there's a fire has been lit under everybody's, even Wayne Pinnock. I've been watching them, look much better than they did. And I'm thinking, did Jadon, is the fact that there's this youngster there that's doing phenomenal things light a fire under their ass? That's what I'm thinking. I think it lit a fire underneath them. And no, they're like, I'm not gonna lose out to this youngster. I'm gonna do the best I can. So even though he's better than all of us, and we're still losing out to him, they're still doing the best that they can, and they have up their performances. I don't know if people have peeped that. And I'm thinking that Jadon had something to do with it. Just the mere fact that he's there and performing so well, and the mere fact that he's so young as well, I think that it has had a positive impact on all of the jumpers that are at Arkansas. Chuckies, let me know in the comments if you think anything is remotely possible like that, or if any of you have the same thought process as it relates to that. I'm not really seeing anything else to report. Let me see. Mihambo. What is she? They're not giving me a distance. Okay, I'm not seeing a distance from her, so I don't know what she did. Let me keep going. I'm not seeing anything else here track related. I hope you all have supported the PayPal. I hope you all have been liking. I need to figure out how to make a particular person my mod. I don't know how to do that. I'm trying to figure out how you do a mod. How to make somebody a mod. Yeah. What time? I come on anytime. I don't have a set time. What I'm trying to do is wait until after the meets. That way I don't, because the thing is, I don't want to be, this is my problem. I love track and field too much. There's a delay. There's a delay when we're watching any track meet, depending on your location. So the persons in the chat will sometimes get the information, watch the race before I watch the race. I don't want to be watching my chat and see somebody telling me, let's take Sharika's race, for instance, that Sharika ran 10:78 before me even see the race. That's gonna drive me crazy. So from that perspective, I don't want to go on during a meet. I want to go on after the meet so that I can unpack my feelings and emotions, because it's been spoiled for me in a certain sense. I don't know if this happens to any of you, but when somebody tells me the information before I can see it for myself, it feels like it's been spoiled. So I don't want to go on live during a meet. So for World Championships, I won't go on during. I'm gonna go on after. I'm gonna have a pre-game show. I'm gonna have a post-game show. So I'm looking to make things bigger and better this year. Hopefully, I can get some sponsors to come on. Chucky's, let me know if any of you run any business that you want to sponsor the channel, where you can make this thing bigger and better, right? So this is what I'm looking to do going forward. As I said, I'm trying to show less and less races, because I don't know what's going on. We're getting a big fight in the background when it comes to showing races. I see a lot of people show races, and I don't see them getting strike like we are getting strike. So I don't know what's going on there. But I'm trying to, move away from showing races too much, and just be my true, genuine, authentic self, and talk about the sport I love, and hopefully we can learn together and grow together. Um, that's pretty much what I'm talking. That's what time am I coming on? What time are you referring to? What do you say? Sago. T, what meat are you referring to? It's Bishgosh. The meat in Bishgosh. Bishgosh. Is it Bishgosh in Poland? I'm sure it's in Poland. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I'm sure it's Bishgosh. I'm Scorpio too. That's why we both stress out over romance. I don't believe in relationship. I believe in love, straight to death. Yeah, I love you. I love hard, and that's why, I guess that's why I cry easily too. Um, when you break my heart, you break my heart. You break my heart, and my heart has been broken by this quote unquote friendship that I've had, and I don't want to keep fostering it. And especially now that I've been out of it, I've heard persons say, "Girl, you know how long I've been wondering why you're still friends with X and Y." And I'm like, then if y'all notice this, why didn't nobody say anything to me? But anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going back. I'm looking forward. Um, T, what meet are you talking about? The NCAAs are on tomorrow. I don't know if that's what you're asking me about, Sagal, or the previous meet that I was talking about the results. That was the Continental Gold Tour that happened in Bishgosh earlier today. I'm sure it didn't end much long ago. So I was just giving you some results on that. But yeah, that's what I'm looking to do going forward. So Chuckies, what do you think? I hope I will continue to get your support. And I have to say, I appreciate it, the support that I'm getting now, the fact that you guys call in to talk about track and field. I didn't expect this support. I was going out on a limb and I was praying that it would be successful, and it's been a massive success. So thank you so much for the support, and things can only get better from here. And I'm hoping that things will only get better from here. I have so much plans in my mind as it relates to this channel going forward, but it's just going to take steps, small steps. We're taking baby steps, incrementally growing. So yeah, that's what it is. I think I'm gonna end my stream now. What's his name? I think Ray's live now, so I don't want you want to clash with that. So I'm gonna end my stream. Also, before I go, I want to make I want to figure out how to make this person Chat Diamond. I want to figure out how to make Chat Diamond my mod, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm trying to figure out how in God's name do I make this person a mod. I figured it out last year, but I don't know why I'm not figuring it out this year. I don't know why I'm not seeing the option to make somebody my mod. Let me YouTube it. You learn everything on YouTube. You learn everything on YouTube. Oh, let me YouTube it because I don't know. I don't know why is it that I guess I have to type on moderator. Oh, do I have to make buttons and stuff? I probably have to do that next time then. Subscribe a moderator in stream yard. Add moderator to your live stream StreamYard. Obviously, if it's something I have to make, then I'll have to make it. I didn't think. I thought that I could just click on something and make you my mod. Okay. Okay, show me. Oh, you got it from StreamYard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, so I do it from the actual live stream itself. So okay, let me open the live stream over here, I guess. And let me add the mod from here. All right, so now I'm looking for Diamond. Why am I not seeing her name? Okay, here we go. Track Diamond. Add as a moderator. Okay, so managing moderator can manage block words and change chat in live and also capable to send in moderators when review or remove chat messages or hide users and put in comment mode. Can I select both of them? Or I can only do one? I can only select one. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the managing moderators one. That one she can manage block words and change chat. I don't think there's any reason to do any of that, but do what mods do. Who did I say? Who else? Who else can I make a mod? Who do I see regular enough to make a mod? Is there anybody else that's interested in making being a mod? I can make you a mod. No. If not, then yeah, Ray. Yeah, Ray is live. I know. That's why I want to end my live because I know he's live and I don't want to clash. It's good to support other content creators. So I'm not trying to clash with other persons. All right. So Trackers, that's it. I think I had a good little chat today. I had fun. I appreciate the lot of you that turned up. I hope you guys liked the stream. I hope you guys went over to PayPal and supported it as well. I hope you guys clicked the link and donated something. It doesn't matter. I appreciate it. With that said, I had a long day. I haven't eaten anything all day because I went to the orthodontist and my mouth hurts. So it is what it is. And it was a forward funny live. Oh my, yeah. Sorry, I've been here for 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's long. I've been here a long time. Um, Ray chat too much. I try to ruin your reputation. I'm not even thinking that deep about it. I just don't want to. I want to know, but I don't want to know until we're able to get all of the information. So until everything is able to be fully disclosed. Wait, why am I echoing? Sorry, let me close this. Okay, so yeah. Right. As I was saying, until they're able to fully disclose all of the information, keep it to yourself. Because I'm stressing just thinking about who it could possibly be. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh God, I pray it's not this, I pray it's not this person, I pray. And then I'm showing favoritism, which I don't want to show favoritism because they're all Jamaicans and I support them all. So I don't want to be doing that in the back of my mind as well. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that he should keep it to himself. I want to know, but until you're able to disclose everything, I don't want to know. That's it. Okay. I've had fun. Thanks for the support. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be back. Love you all lots.